So for this project, we will absolutely need multiple things, but it's just in my specific case, right? Usually you will want one of these micro USB adapters, mainly because uh, you only have USB 2.0 in this Raspberry Pi, okay? And you also need mini HDMI, sadly, right? It's not micro, it's not normal HDMI, it's just the mini HDMI Type-C. Okay, so you have that basically need if you want to control more than one USB device at a time, which is my case. You also need the SD card, the board itself, which is in my case the Raspberry Pi 02W, and an SD writer, right? So you can write that SD card. Then for me, I need the power supply for the Raspberry Pi. This you need, obviously, absolutely. I also will use a portable monitor, low power one. I will need this to connect basically both the USB dock that you see here and the power supply of the Raspberry Pi, and I'm thinking of making a media device or a torrenting device so I can share files with my friends and they can also download from my media drive. Also, keep in mind that the USB hub that we buy needs to be with a power supply. Why? It's because the power supply of a Raspberry Pi 2W, of a Raspberry Pi 02W, doesn't have enough power to draw when it comes to the external drive, and it can actually create a loopback which will absolutely burn your board.
Okay, so basically now that we want to write the SD card, right, I will show you exactly how to do it. The problem is I tried the reader and for some reason after I wrote the first SD card, it doesn't want to detect a new one, but it's whatever. So basically we want a Raspberry Pi 02W, and then for the OS you have two options, right? You can either check the desktop one, or you can do Raspberry Pi OS Other and choose the OS Lite if you don't want the desktop and you want it to be headless. For me, I prefer the desktop, right? So once you take this, you can select any SD card, or in my case, I just want to show you with one of my USBs. So you see exactly how it's done, right? Then you can press on next, and it already tells you, hey, would you like to apply customizations or no? You can try to, but once I did it, for some reason it didn't work properly, okay? So um, it would be like, for example, edit, what you want to call it, what username you want, what SSD, SSA ID, sorry, so like the Wi-Fi, right? But no, it's not necessarily needed. You can just press no in this case if it's a desktop one. You connect it to a screen, you put yourself a keyboard in and a mouse, and you can configure it by your own, right? And once you press no, it already tells you, hey, all of the data will be erased. Are you sure? You press yes, and once it's finished, you can extract it.
Okay, so we finally have it booted up. Now we will just do the initial setup. It basically asked me for the location and the time zone. I just picked Spain because Spain and Poland has basically the same one. I'm more comfy with the Spanish region, and now it just does the initial setup. Okay, so finally we can go to the desktop. We will see. Basically it should work like the other one, where the desktop is pretty lightweight and it shouldn't have issues. I'm sorry that sometimes my hand trembles a little bit. It is what it is. I guess it's stress. But yeah, it should look very similar to the normal Raspberry Pi OS. The only issue I have with this is I hope it doesn't waste a lot of RAM. If it does, I will gut it down and just install the headless version of this OS, right? But yeah, I will just check and hopefully it works properly. Okay, even if it takes quite a bit of time, you can press up here on this circle close to the Bluetooth icon, right? And press turn on Raspberry Pi Connect, and it's what I'll try to do so I can show you the rest of the installation on my PC instead of struggling with this one, right?
Okay, so now I can actually show you what I wanted to do, right? I'll just reload the page to where I have the 0W, 02W on 9, and now I can do the screen sharing into the device, right? And the most important thing we should do is to literally upgrade the device. Oh, obviously it will work like shit, don't get me wrong, okay? It will work like shit because you have that limitation of RAM, and the processor also works at like what, 800 megahertz, so it's not like the best thing. Now let me just look up the command because I want to do a full upgrade. This one. So the apt -y. Okay, and I'm pretty sure I remember the password I put. It would be weird not to. And yeah, like this will take some time. Okay, so I will split the video into multiple parts. But what I wanted to show you is that we will have this hard drive connected to it, right? Which basically we can use. I just have to import some files so they can use the torrents themselves to get the seedings and to get the downloads. And it's all. I think by using the UI version or the desktop version, usually they auto mount onto the system. With the headless version, I'm pretty sure you don't auto mount anything. You will have to configure it by hand. That's the difference, right? But I wanted the simplicity and the capability of controlling the desktop, even if it's horrible in terms of how slow and sluggish it moves. It's not a biggie. But yeah, now you can see that it actually works, and it's literally all I wanted to show, right? Okay, now I already copied the command, and we have this functionality here which is really nice, where you can paste to remote something that you copied, right? So we will install the qBittorrent, which will be the client for torrenting, and I'm pretty sure after this is done installing, uh, uh, um, installing dependencies, not an issue. Oh, you use SQLite, okay. Yes, we want to. I think the SD card is either a 32 gigabytes one or a 64. I don't remember now. Because it's in a different day where I basically decided to mount all of the system. I was missing the USB micro adapter, so I couldn't really do the project, right? So I wrote the SD card on a previous day, like almost a week ago. But yeah, with this, at least we will have the bare bones of the project working. And after this, I'm pretty sure I want to do a reboot. Even if the program is in theory in here, it should be on the internet side. Yes, we want to do a reboot. I don't think it will have issue rebooting here, actually. Some Raspberry Pis have an issue when you press the logout button, it doesn't work. So yeah, we'll just reboot it. And it should take like a couple of minutes. Either way, I'll cut the recording so we don't have to wait 10 years for it. Okay, so I got connected to it again, and I'm pretty sure that now if I open the program, we finally have it working. It will tell us a warning, like always, like, hey, you're using it at your own risk. Makes sense because, you know, in some countries it's highly illegal, like for example in Germany. And I'm pretty sure with this it should work. Yes, exactly, it works. And now the one thing I do need to make it happen is, I think it was on Tools, Preferences, that we want to enable the UI on the web, right? And also, obviously, we don't want to let it download like crazy. We want to limit the amount to around like 2 or 3. So I'm not remembering properly now. Maximum number of upload slots per torrent. Global maximum of uploads. I would put it to 5. Being honest, something like 5 maybe, or 10. Not even like it has a very little amount of RAM. We don't wanna overdo it, right? So let's put it at like 5. Actually, this one is not bad. 4, right? Global maximum number of upload slots 5, yeah. Number of connections 500. This I might lower to like 50 and 10. Or like 120. Let's do it like this, like divided by quite a lot. Because we are not going to download anything. This project is purely for uploading at this point. I doubt we will actually download anything, being totally honest. Okay, we will apply this change connection limits. Okay, connections per torrent, yes. Number of upload, yes. Now, in terms of speed, this I won't change, it's not an issue. Bitrate. Maximum active checking torrents, one at a time, yeah, because we have a very small amount. Maximum active downloads, torrent queuing, yes. Maximum active uploads, 3 and 5. Maximum active torrents, 5. This is exactly what we need. We will apply it. And I'm wondering if the web UI is activated, but I doubt. No, I don't think so. Web user interface. Yes, we want to activate it. And we will put a password in here. Let's see. Yeah, it actually puts the password instantly. So I will use just a basic one maybe. That is strong enough where weird people will not be able to just enter, right? Okay, and yeah, with this, the project is pretty much done. We set it up everything we wanted. And in advanced, I want to just check if physical memory, RAM usage limit. I think I want it to use a maximum of 200 megabytes, being honest, which is usually what you have available. There it is. Yeah, it's usually what you have available after taking the overhead of the desktop environment, potentially the Raspberry Pi Connect. We can check quickly, actually, just to make sure. This is important, obviously, because we don't want to kill this board and we don't want it to struggle and overheat. So we have 89K. Poor one. It will struggle a little bit. It is what it is. I will lower it maybe to 100 megabytes then. And this way I will make sure that it doesn't die, right? Obviously, the remote environment that I'm using also consumes quite a bit of RAM, potentially like 100 megabytes, 150 megabytes. When you disconnect from it, it will be way better. But yeah. So yeah, project done. It's not this hard, but at the same time, there's a lot of wasted RAM memory. If there will be any issues, I will go a headless route and then potentially make a video about it too, right? Skipping the initial part, but just showing you, hey, now if you want the new version, it's done like this. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. See you the next time.